Hey guys, Yoshi here. Welcome back, my fellow Koopalings, to another video game review. This time around, it is Planet of Lana. I finally just finished this. I've had it on my backlog for so long, and finally, January 2024, I have finished playing the game. So without further ado, let's begin. What is Planet of Lana? So Planet of Lana is a single-player game, 2D side-scrolling platform with puzzles and survival elements. Now let's talk about the story. Set on another planet, not Earth, far into the future, Lana's sister and her fishing village get attacked and abducted by alien robots, and Lana quickly finds herself leaving the village on a quest to find her sister. It's nothing revolutionary, and it's very basic, honestly, but it's not that overdone, and the combination of enemies, puzzles, and environments helps the story flesh out in subtle ways. For example, one of the biomes or levels is an ancient spaceship that crashed many years ago, and learning about this crashed spaceship made my playthrough, the appearance of these alien robots, more menacing and mysterious. Like, why are they here? Now, unfortunately, those questions aren't really answered. You know, why are these alien robots attacking or invading or whatever? But I never really even thought about that as I was playing the game. This game took me about 5 hours to play through initially, and then a few more hours playing through it again to clean up, finding any missed secrets, and going for that 100% achievements. Overall, I'd rate the story a 3 out of 5. It's good. Next up is the gameplay. Mostly platforming, Lana can run, crouch, hide, jump, and solve puzzles to make her way into each new biome of her new planet. You also have a cute little cat-like creature companion called Mooey, who is very, very cute. The gameplay is straightforward and easy to pick up. There are some challenging puzzles throughout that might take longer for some people. However, the D-pad is fully supported, which is my preferred way to play these precise platforming type of games, so that's very appreciated. Also, there are some boss fights, surprisingly, which in my opinion don't necessarily fit into the gameplay. Though those can be just turned into a cutscene if you choose to turn off QuickTime events in the menu. Few gameplay problems: turning around, jumping onto certain ledges, not all jumping, but certain ledges, and then using the rope I found to be quite clunky and awkward. And actually, some of these jumps and other movement cost me a few deaths as a result. So thankfully, this game is not nearly as punishing or as death-filled as other side-scrolling platformer survival games like Limbo or Inside, which I quite like as well. And the reloads are quick, and the enemy patterns don't go beyond simple back-and-forth routes. Some of the puzzles, though, also, for better or worse, later on especially, are pretty obtuse to figure out, and I feel they're harder to solve than they should be. So for example, there's a puzzle later on that requires you to fly a drone through some fans with your cat friend Mooey riding it. It's really easy for Mooey to fall off, which left me frustrated enough that I had to walk away from the game for a couple of days. Overall, I'd rate the gameplay 3 out of 5. It's good, it makes sense, but there are a few bizarre spikes in difficulty every here and there that don't really make sense to me. All right, moving on to the GUI, or the graphical user interface. Menu and navigation is super simple. It's very clean. It's not flashy or fancy. It would have been cool to have some more themed texts, but the backgrounds are just plain text, which isn't a bad thing or a good thing. It's just really clean. It's really simple. And replaying a level is very easy to get to, and to load is pretty quick. There's also a small amount of really good options for audio, other gameplay assistance like turning off QuickTime events, which I appreciate. So overall, I rate the GUI a 5 out of 5. All right, that leads us to the graphics and the art style. You guys, the graphics are really good and the game performs very well. I've never had any stutters or hiccups. I am playing on the Xbox One X in all of its 4K glory, and so the art style really shines in higher resolutions, but it's gonna look good no matter what. I mean, just look at it. You can see for yourself how happy and beautiful and simple the art style is. And actually, the platforming mechanics really do a lot to show the depths of this planet, not just up close, but as well as the gorgeous vistas off in the distance. All the biomes are really, really pleasing and a delight to look at, especially the forest and mountain areas in the beginning of the game. I could have wandered around even more in these locations, though thankfully there is enough to satisfy the exploration for each biome, but also they're not so big that they overstay their welcome. Lana, the native creatures, and the robots are also very well designed. I haven't seen animals look like these ones do, and that's exciting to discover, all the little details of the critters running around to this native planet. Lana's animations in particular are also very detailed and fluid, especially running and jumping. And I love seeing the grass rustle as you run through it and see the tree swaying in the wind in the background. Mui also has some cute animations, especially when he is trying to bump down a rope for you to climb. Very cute. I rate the graphics and the art style a 5 out of 5. Next up, you can't have a game without good music, and in this case, the music is fantastic. For me, it was good enough to buy the soundtrack just immediately on iTunes. I don't do that for every game, but for this game, Planet of Lana soundtrack is just such a lovely experience. The variety includes sweeping orchestral swells to mischievous sneak past the enemy type music, as well as simpler, somber melodies. I rate the music a 5 out of 5. Now to wrap it up, the good stuff. Music is fantastic, the detailed and various biomes go a long way, and overall it's just a great experience for adults and kids alike. However, there are a few bad things that I didn't like very much. For example, the aforementioned jumping on certain ledges. Jumping overall is fine, but there are certain ledges that are really clunky, as well as turning around and using the rope I found was clunky, and which caused me to die a few times I felt unnecessarily. Some of these instances make a deathless run far more challenging than it needs to be if you're going for that. And some of the puzzles, particularly the fan puzzle in the back 3/4 of the game, is very hard. Probably the hardest part of the whole game. Aside from those problems, Planet of Lana is a solid gaming experience, and overall, I rate Planet of Lana a 4 out of 5. I reviewed Planet of Lana on my Xbox One X, but it's available on all Xbox One and Series platforms, as well as being on Game Pass. And good news for you PlayStation and Nintendo fans, Planet of Lana is coming to those platforms, both PS4, PS5, and Nintendo, later this year, spring 2024.
Lana!